I'm back in Jersey for the Easter holiday. Um, I'm only gonna read chapter 6 right now because I'm very sleepy. And I will, read chapter 7 later. Like, where can I land? Where? There's no sun. Okay, no, that's even worse. Whatever. No. I could just put the whole thing down because it's blackout shade. Pardon me? Pardon me? Pardon me? Oh yeah, let's make it happen, Captain. Okay. Anyway. Alright. Chapter 6 of Onision's book. Quite a few days passed. Everything felt like it was falling into place with Abby. She had become the center of my world. And I felt like I was finally enjoying my life. Yeah, that's how it's written. I was finally enjoying my life. Either you wanted to put two finallys as emphasis, or you suck at copy editing and didn't realize that you put finally twice, you fucking idiot. One morning, my nose woke me up. What? Wake up, Giles. You're gonna be late for work. There was an unfamiliar but pleasant smell filling my bedroom. For the first time in a long while, breakfast was ready for my sister and me. He used my sister and me. That's correct. My mom had made eggs and waffles. To my surprise, you don't need to say surprise. You know why you don't need to say surprise? Because obviously it's a surprise. It's an unfamiliar scent to you, and it's for the first time in a long time. Obviously it's a surprise. You don't need to say it. Rick was again sitting at our table. Him being there completely explained why my mom was making breakfast. It completely explained, sure. I approached everyone already sitting and said good morning. Rick seemed a little nervous, and again my mom asked that we all have a talk. This is so boring, Greg. Jesus. I sat down, not so sure of what to expect. Rick spoke. Listen, I don't want to tiptoe around this topic. Your mother and I want to move in together. Oh my god, so you fucking bribe them with food? Like, how old are they? Look, it says, Rick spoke, no comma. Rick spoke. Like, that's not how you start a sentence. Rick spoke? Jesus Christ. My sister's arm went limp as she was attempting to eat, making her fork smack against her plate as she dropped her jaw simultaneously. Good Lord on high, who is risen tomorrow. While she was normally overdramatic about most everything, her reaction pretty much summed up how I too was feeling this time. Ooh, wow. Suddenly, somebody else's emotion. Mask your own. Mask? I didn't mean mask. Mimic your own. That never happens in this book, ever. My mom tried to soften the blow by saying, and yes, this is going to be a pretty big transition for all of us, but we'll make it through. It began to hit me harder as I thought things through. There was no way Rick was moving in with us. Our little condo was already overcrowded. Rick was the one with the higher paying job. He hyphenated higher paying. Which meant most everything I knew was at risk to change. What does one have to do with the other? He has the higher paying job, so therefore you're at risk to change? What the fuck? I began to feel panicked. You... ... Mom, I have Abby. What? What? Why? I said. My mom looked concerned, and Rick blurted out, Listen, we're not going to break up your relationship for the sake of ours. We'll figure something out, okay? I am far and away so fucking confused. What in the Christ does this have to do with anything? Did I skip a page? I didn't skip a page. Like, you have Abby. What is that? Like, what does that have to do with your mom moving in with Rick? Like, is Abby about to move in with them? I don't understand. And why is all of a sudden, like, why is it such a big deal that Rick is moving in? We've only seen one instance of him, and he seemed like a pretty nice guy. You know, why is this all of a sudden the worst problem? Is it because your house is too small? That's it? That's it? I felt like I was going to pass out. I kept thinking about the horrible timing, that I finally had someone I bonded with more than anyone else. And they were going to make it far more difficult for me to be with them. Because of what? Incorrect. To be with them? To be with them implies you're talking about Rick and your mom, Greg. To be with her. Like, we know you're talking about Abby. You don't, like, to say them is completely incorrect. Jesus fucking balls. I'm gonna sneeze in a second, I think. And my parents' cat, who used to be my cat, is in the room with me. I shut the door. Rick had said it would work out, but I barely knew him. So what are you getting so fucking ornery about? Oh my god. I had learned some time before to trust people on what you know them to be, not what you hope them to be. Rick hadn't been around long enough for me to see him in a significantly positive or negative light, and in that, I realized hope was all I had. Wow. No. Like, no. No. Because, like, the way that you just described him moving in with you guys was inherently negative. I keep looking over there, and I'm, like, not looking at anything. There's just, like, a whole bunch of crap in my old room. I stood up and said, "I'm sorry, I'm not hungry. I'm going to wait for the bus." Everyone silently sat at the table, awkwardly pushing around their food as I gathered my things. God, you make everything so awkward, Greg. Your character is the most awkward motherfucker in the entire world. As I was brushing my teeth, I could hear my sister crying and ranting dramatically in the background. Once again, she reacted externally how I felt inside. Oh my god, now your character's so fucking devoid of any sort of personality that his sister has to act out his emotions. Davis could see my upset posture out his window. Really? How could he see that? How'd you know he saw that? I mean, obviously Davis is looking at you outside the window, but is he noticing your upset posture? What the fuck is upset posture mean? What does that mean? Nobody knows. Holy fuck. Oh, listen, ready? Here he comes. Davis could see my upset posture outside his window as the bus pulled up, so as I walked up the steps this time he screamed, "I love you so much. I wish you were my boyfriend." This is breaking me. This is breaking me as an amateur author. This is breaking me as a YouTube person. This is breaking me as a human being who exists and has feelings and wants and needs in life. This is breaking me as a Greg hater. Oh no, let's keep powering through. Ugh, I hated myself for giving in yet again, but laughter escaped me. No. My life was turning completely upside down, and Davis was there to make me experience a fragment of happiness. To all the people who have read Greg's book and said to him to inflate his already massive ego and told him that this was the best book you've ever read, please get yourself checked out, because this is horrible. Like, this is not even me, like, remembering Greg wrote this. This is me reading something at face value and seeing how Shit-tastic. It is. Do not fucking buy this shit. Don't give Greg any sort of, like, don't give him a modicum of this even hinting at being good, because that didn't make any sense, but I'm also tired as fuck. So I don't care. I don't care if my words have no meaning behind them right now. Maybe it's an after effect. Maybe it's because I'm reading this. I'm reading this terror, and it's making my brain melt. As I sat down, Davis grabbed me and hugged me. Oh my god. Someone sitting a few seats ahead screamed, "You homos," which made Davis yell back, "I love him, this is love." He jumped onto the seat with his little body and pressed our faces side by side. Look at our love. These words were written by a 29-year-old man with a child. That should be what's hurting me most of all. I patted his arm that had been wrapped around me, sarcastically. How do you pat somebody's arm sarcastically? And he released me to sit down. Immediately he asked, "So what's up, buddy? How can I turn that frown upside down? Poopy poo poof." No. No. No! 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 Ah! No! No! There's no way. There's no way. That is legit. Oh my god. You have got to be kidding me. My pants are falling down. You have got to be out of your motherfucking mind. Jesus Christ. On the cross. Jesus did not die for us to fucking read this. Oh my fucking god. Alright, where the hell was I? He could see I was still a little bit upset and didn't really want to talk, so he did a classic. "Well, I'm always here." It was nice having Davis to keep me afloat. How many fucking times do you have to say that? Also, there's no period after afloat. So much for proofreading it, you dick farmer. Since I began my teacher's assistant work with Mr. Hansen, I felt buried in needless information about his job. He was constantly ranting about the low pay, working conditions, and hours. And your character, Greg, is constantly ranting about how much better he is than everybody, and how twisted and tormented his mind is, and how much he loves Abby, despite talking to her a grand total of 3 times, and how Davis is your virtual blowjob. He's your walking blowjob, is what he is. I can see that the light was changing. Never mind. The poopy poo poop really fucked me up. Despite all this, he would still remind me about how happy it made him to see some students overcome the horrible condition of our school and succeed regardless. Okay. Remember in previous chapters I talked about how shitty the school is? Yeah, we're still on it, I guess. Ms. Robertson would stop in from time to time while I graded papers. Really? You're gonna trust this fucking asshole to grade papers? Really? You really? Really, Mr. Stanley, you had enough faith in fucking James to do this? Whenever she visited, she and Mr. Hansen would bombard me with questions. They would ask me how I liked being a TA, random questions about the state of the school, and discuss academic politics. Show don't tell. Please show us some of these conversations. Please, please, I'm just begging you, please. I kind of felt sorry for Mrs. Robertson. We never had normal conversations. It was almost always about her job, almost as if that was all she knew. While she was visiting that day. What day? Are we on the same day? Like, you just did this, like, whole, like, this is all we would talk about when she came in. And now we're back to the same day. Like, then why, oh my god. This is why I'm saying show don't tell. Because you just told us about all these conversations that you had, and yet they don't help the story move along at all. Hello? Hey! You want to hear some of Onision's book? I'm recording right now, just letting you know. So if you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to be. It's okay, then just stand there and just listen. Ready? Listen. While she was visiting that day... While she was visiting that day, Mrs. Robertson could tell I was upset about something, so she asked, and I confessed I was pretty bummed out. I wasn't specific because I wanted Abby to be the first person to know what was going on between my mom and Rick. This is Greg just being all obsessed with his girlfriend right now, with his girlfriend Abby. Okay. Mrs. Robertson replied, "Well, this better have nothing to do with you know who." Abby. Because if you remember, when she was talking to him, she was like, "Oh, you better not get involved with Abby, but let me change around your school schedule so you can be with classes with her. Look. When he makes a sentence. Mrs. Robertson replied, Do you see a comma there? Say something. It's weird. Now it's like I'm talking to just myself. You can reply back if you want. Ready? Okay. Mrs. Robertson replied, "Oh, I found the fact that she was still butting into my relationship with Abby to be increasingly annoying." Nope. There's no indication that she has ever butted into their relationship. There's maybe once before. I said nothing in response, hoping ignoring her bringing up Abby would give Mrs. Robertson the hint I didn't want her talking about Abby. Let's swish that around in our mouths for a little bit. Let's read that sentence again, okay? I said nothing in response, hoping ignoring her bringing up Abby would give Mrs. Robertson the hint I didn't want her talking about Abby. Those words are strung together in that sequence. There is no agreement with who he's talking to, yet he uses a pronoun and the proper noun at the same time in the sentence. It doesn't make any sense. Do you see why I'm critiquing this now?
No, I think it's a huge waste of time.
It may be. It's still funny. And there's this cute little cat. This tiny little cat. Alright. Finally, it was time for PE, and Abby greeted me as happily as she ever did. As happily as she ever did. That's not correct. No? How would you...
Sure.
Is it? It doesn't sound right. Because he's a moron when he's writing. Look at those little pants she's wearing. I didn't want to ruin her day, so I asked her to call me later that night to talk without hinting too much regarding what it was. She's laughing so hard right now.
Well, I used to teach English. So.
Oh, I used to teach English. Yeah. Yes, I did.
Sorry.
I know. This is why we make fun of it. Despite my efforts, she could see it in my eyes. She said, "If you have something on your mind, I really want you to tell me." I tried to think of the best way to say it, but I couldn't, so I just told her I had to tell her later. god.
Did he write this as a comedy?
No.
Oh.
This is him being like, this is my great work. This is you just see how hard my mom's laughing right now. It's great.
I'm not laughing that hard.
Don't I can see you. They can't see you, but I can see you. Lucy can see you. Okay. She replied, after school, and I agreed. Throughout gym class, her behavior changed completely. She picked up so well on my concerns that it consumed how she interacted with almost every person and thing around her. This is why I said in another video he should have written this in third person. The fact that he is looking at his girlfriend. He's looking at his girlfriend and just knowing what she's thinking and how she's feeling.
Maybe he doesn't know how to write in third person.
No, he doesn't, because he's a huge narcissistic asshole. Holy shit.
You're not going to put stuff like that.
No, I'm absolutely going to put that stuff in there.
Those comments?
He is an a-hole. Oh, Susan. Oh, Susan. Oh, no. The mere worry of some bad news caused her to appear significantly depressed, almost as bad as before we were talking. Oh, we began talking. That made that sense a lot better. Abby was waiting by my bus. So just gym class just magically dissolves. Gym class is just over. Like, he just again looks at her. She's depressed because he couldn't tell her something. I mean, come on. That is just
waste of time.
Him writing this book, I agree.
Yes, and you paying any attention to it. A huge waste of time.
We're laughing. We're laughing right now.
Yeah, but we're laughing, but to do it so that you can put it on the YouTube or whatever you're going to put it on. What's the motive?
Me. Me making fun of it, how bad it is. Because I can't believe it. I like, all these words are in front of me, but I have to read them out loud to make sure that they exist. And they do. So it's a terrifying notion. Let me finish. God. Abby was waiting by my bus as I walked out of school. I had been thinking about the best way I could tell her all day. You have to tell me, she said before I even finished walking. She's laughing her ass off.
No, really, this is a comedy.
It's not a comedy. It's not a comedy. Before I even finished walking, what, like...
I think you need a nap.
I'm not done with the chapter. Please just laugh out loud. I want everybody to hear, because you're cracking up right now. I didn't delay my response as she had waited long enough. My mom's boyfriend is talking about having my mom move in with him. He said he'd make things work with you and me despite the change.
Make things work between
him and his girlfriend. Like, all of a sudden, because...
The guy who's gonna marry his mother or have his mother move in, he's gonna make things good for these two?
Yeah.
Dream on.
Oh my god. No, that's what it is. Like earlier in the chapter, the boyfriend tells them, like, I want to move in with your mom, and then Greg's character's response was, but I have Abby. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Abby kept looking back and forth at me, then to the side, speechless. How do you look back and forth at someone? Like...
And then to the side.
To the side, speechless. I continued, I can't leave you behind. She interrupted as tears already began forming in her eyes. I can go with you. I don't understand where they're going. I don't understand why all of a sudden that, like, the parents moving in is like the most detrimental thing happening in the life. I don't understand.
Well, are they going to invite him to go with them?
I don't know. Because...
Does he live with his mother now?
He lives with his mom. You snorted. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy crap.
No, really, it's not nice to do this.
You are in this with me. Do not.
It is not nice to do this to me. And, you know, come on. Because he lives with his mommy.
He lives with his mom. But they're in high school.
Oh. So he's taking a chapter about when he was in high school?
Yeah.
I thought it was an up-to-date thing. What does he want to write about a bunch of teenagers for? What's the attraction?
Because his fans are all teenagers. All of them.
Oh, well.
Well, most of them. Like a good majority of them.
All right, so a good majority. So, who's going to look at your rant over here?
Cool people!
No, really. Who's going to look at this?
Like cool people that don't like Onision.
How do you get them to look at it?
By providing them the link. This is all going in, by the way. Anyway.
You can't use my voice unless I give you permission.
Well...
And I am not giving you permission.
Oh, come on.
No.
It's fine. Anyway. Anyway. You made me lose my place. God, this is a hard enough story to keep up with.
He was talking about moving
Oh.
in with his mother and boyfriend.
Okay. I think is what was happening. I paused in disbelief. In a single moment, she expressed as much desperation for me as I had been feeling the last few days. It was as if every action she took repeatedly proved her perfect alignment with my intentions.
Lucy! Lucy!
She's fine.
She's scratching the chair.
No, she went down below. Like I just don't understand. See, this is why he just this is the millionth time that he has told.
Is she behind him?
She's behind there, yeah.
Oh.
This is the millionth time that he's told his readers like what somebody else is thinking. But how can he know that? This is all first person.
Get out of there.
She's out. Silly cat. So we were becoming like gears turning in sync. Wait, if gears are turning in sync, they're not
going the same.
They're going the same way. Oh shit. Oh. We were becoming like gears turning in sync. We gotta get a snot bubble. Shit. Oh. Unable to be slowed or broken by any obstructions. She waited for a response. Looking at me nervously. I smiled and said, "Actually, I was thinking I might be able to stay here alone. My mom owns the condo and I'm 17, so I don't know." Okay. Like, I don't understand why, like, people moving in is all of a sudden messing up his relationship. There has been no explanation for that.
This is all about him.
No shit. It's all.
It's so, I mean, like, who gives a crap?
I do.
Oh, God. Why are you wasting your time?
This is not a waste of time. This is funny.
A waste of time.
We have just been laughing for like 5 minutes already.
Do something more.
I wrote on the train
Why don't you
here.
go to sleep, for heaven's sake?
I'm not tired. I'm tired. Abby's nervous expression faded slightly, and she said, "Have you talked to your mom about that?" I replied with. He just, no, but I won't let us get split up, and, ... I paused, still in disbelief that she was willing to come with me if I left. Abby started to smile, feeling more certain I wouldn't leave her behind.
You should talk more like a 17-year-old boy.
Okay. I continued. I'm glad you said what you did. I now know.
I'm glad you said what you did. I'm really glad. That's a 17-year-old boy.
I don't think that's anybody. Nobody talks like that. I'm glad you said what you did. I'm not a boy. I don't know what it was like to be a 17-year-old boy.
Well, how can you possibly write about people that you don't know who they are?
Imagination.
Yeah, well.
Imagination. Anyway. I know now either way it should work out. She giggled excitedly and immediately jumped on me while simultaneously wrapping her legs around me, happily kissing every part of my face but my lips. That was one sentence. And there was like 15 adverbs in it.
Well, these people jump around in their emotions, don't they?
Jump around? No. Greg, with unstable emotions? I know. Yeah, they were both like so morose 2 seconds ago, and now she giggled.
Has a free place to stay. Woo!
Woo! She giggled excitedly.
Ooh.
And immediately jumped on me while simultaneously wrapping her legs around me, happily kissing every part of my face but my lips.
She lead all over the place, happily.
Yeah. Simultaneously. I said, "Whoa," laughing and thinking in the back of my mind how surprisingly easy she was to carry. What? Why does that matter?
How long have they been going out?
This is their 4th interaction with each other.
Or maybe he hasn't lifted her yet.
Bro, do you even lift? You don't get that. That's an internet joke, I think. Later that night, I spoke to my mom about potentially staying home and continuing to go to the same school, considering I was graduating the next full school year. He is so needlessly verbose. Needlessly verbose. Like, how many words does it take to say, later that night, I talked to my mom about staying here because I was graduating next year?
How many pages is this?
About 115.
Which one are you on?
Well, I don't know because it's Kindle, so it's...
Why don't you just go to the end and read the last page?
I don't want to. I will power through this. I will read this because people think it's funny. I'm funny!
How do you know they think?
Because I get good feedback. What are you glaring at me for?
I think you're nuts.
That's fine. You can think I'm nuts. She seemed hopeful, but said she had to talk to Rick, who had returned to his home past the mountains to work. I don't get it.
How many 5 stars did he get on this?
He got a lot of 5 stars on this.
How many 1 star?
I think it's like he got a half and half mix of 5 stars and 1 stars.
How many followers does he have?
Like, he has 1 million on his main YouTube channel and like 1 million on his other YouTube channel. He has like 7 channels.
Well, and that's a lot. Now, you gotta understand that he wouldn't have those if people didn't like him.
Oh my gosh, she's so tiny. Oh, so cute. Yeah, people like him because he's like a physically attractive person. Well, I mean, I don't find him physically attractive because his personality is so ugly. That's it. He's a good manipulator. He's like
Well,
Jim Jones.
What does he do besides write stupid books?
What he does is he does skit videos. He does videos where he looks up really ridiculous phrases on...
And he uses them in his book?
No. Well, I mean, those are his own brain vomits up those ideas. He looks up ridiculous phrases on Google and like looks at pictures and like makes comments about them. He's a hack. He's a piece of shit.
Well, Gina.
What?
If he has this many followers, he must have something people like.
Humor of teenagers. Like, immature teenagers.
And how many followers do you have?
I have, like, 27,000. But I also, like, I don't make videos that much anymore, so, like... You're comparing apples to sexy diamonds.
No, I'm not.
Anyway.
I'm just saying, it's you're wasting your time.
Anyway. Stop making me lose my place with all these, like, asides. Okay? You think the play is the thing to catch the demons of the king.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Shade off balance?
It's cocked to one side. Oh, wait. When we spoke on the phone, Abby and I mostly stayed away from talking about the move. We focused on topics like colonizing the moon, strange creatures we have yet to discover in the ocean, and if robots will become so much like humans one day that they'll begin to have the same legal rights as us.
Deep.
Real deep. Some topics were pretty silly, but we really didn't care. It was just fun to hear what we could come up with It was just fun to hear what we could come up with talking about things we barely imagined till then. Like, Greg just sucks at dialogue so much that the fact that he's telling us that they talked about this stuff when a writer worth his salt will maybe go into that dialogue and see why it's relevant to the story. Why them talking about colonizing the moon is relevant to the story. Am I right? I'm right?
I don't know. I haven't read the whole thing.
That's okay. You're saved from the terror. The horror. At some point in the night, Abby brought up a more serious topic. I noticed something about you when we're in gym class. When we're in gym class.
So do they have co-ed gym days?
I had co-ed gym.
You did?
I did. Susan, get off.
That was bothering me.
Okay. Don't touch my butt.
Couldn't help it.
I replied, asking her to elaborate. She said it wasn't just in class. Once I saw it, I began noticing it everywhere. You barely pay attention to any other girls, even when they talk to you. I have never seen another girl talk to him. Ever. In this book. It's not happened.
That girl talks to him.
Abby.
Yeah.
But no other girls have talked to him. So.
Maybe he just wants Abby as a friend.
No. You rarely even look at them most of the time. You rarely even look at them most of the time. He charged people money for this. That's so frustrating. He didn't even, like...
people actually bought it?
I don't know how many people bought it, but, like, that's what's so frustrating. Like, where do you get the balls to do that? You don't even copyright it? I mean, you don't even copy edit it? You don't take the time or the care to do that? He wrote it just to say that he wrote a book.
Yeah, but you find mistakes like that all the time.
Yeah, but like most of the mistakes you find in books are actually properly formatted. Like, they know when to use a close quotation and a period, and know how to write decent dialogue. I laughed and replied, I do that intentionally, you know. She asked, I know.
I do that intentionally, you know?
You know? I do that intentionally, you know? What, is this like a Gavone from the old neighborhood?
I hope not. I hope Garvones don't act like this.
She asked why, and I continued, because I don't want to risk you thinking for a second you're not the most important person to me. She replied in an amused tone, even when I'm not around? I added, when you're not around, I like to pretend you still are. No. Creepy. Creepy. So in a way, there's no such thing as being without you. Ooh. Like, even me in high school, I was never this, like, creepily obsessed with somebody. Uh-oh, I'm getting the cocked eyebrow. I wasn't obsessed with him. Maybe a little.
Come on, that's why this is a waste of time. What are you doing?
I'm reading a book!
Why don't you go to sleep?
I'm almost done! Shh! She warmly laughed, and we quickly went back to much lighter topics. And he's not gonna let us know what any of those topics are. Abby wound up falling asleep on the phone with me. Oh my god, this is some Dahmer shit right here. Listening to her rest, how peaceful she sounded. Oh my god. That's a sentence. Listening to her rest, how peaceful she sounded. Period. That's a statement. Despite knowing it wasn't true, I couldn't help but feel like everything was still perfect. That's the end of chapter 6. It was awful.
How many chapters does it have?
I think like 20.
You're not going to comment on every single thing.
Yes, I am.
Oh my god.
Yes, I am.
Waste of time.
Really? You sound like James right now. Just repeating shit over and over again that we already know.
James?
The character's name. Anyway.
I could never sound that dumb.
Look at this. Thank God a cute little face was here the whole time.
Not the whole time.
No, not the whole time. She was milling around a lot. Anyway, that's chapter 6. And we're gonna keep going, despite what my mom thinks.
Why don't you go to sleep?
Good night, bitches.